Gut health is something that's vital to your day to day functioning. It shows up in skin in the form of acne, eczema. It leads to a lot of brain fog, fatigue, mood swings.
What are some top everyday habits that people do without realizing that these habits are damaging their gut health?
Sugar does not directly cause diabetes.
You're constantly abusing your body and it's gonna show up eventually. What are some of the underrated foods or nutrients that naturally support gut health?
Diet sodas, a big no-no. Even certain types of flavored yogurts. Self-care isn't selfish. Self-care is not selfish.
I think the way you treat your body in your 20s and 30s is how it's gonna react in your 40s and 50s. So, our today's guest is a blend of science and style, a physician with an MBBS from India, a master's from UK, and both certification in nutrition from the US. She's passionate about medicine, fashion, and fitness, and uses her platform to show that women in healthcare can break stereotypes and be multidimensional. Please welcome the very inspiring Dr. Sahiti Rao to the Ramsha's podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me, Ramsha. I've been loving your work, and it's amazing to be a part of this Chicago community that we are developing. I'm doing good. So happy to share some insights and make this a power packed and some informative show.
Awesome. No, likewise. I would love for us to talk about gut health. For someone who is new to the concept, what exactly is gut health and why is it considered such an important part of the overall wellness?
Absolutely. So, first off, gut health, right? So, people usually think of gut as a digestion factory, but to simply put, I would like to label it the CEO of your body. Okay, that's because when you have a healthy gut, you're basically healing a lot of your systems within your body. So when you heal your gut, your skin, your weight issues, your the spectrum of mental health issues, including anxiety, mood swings, fatigue, everything starts to heal like dominoes. So if I have to sum it up, gut health is something that's vital to your day to day functioning, for one, as well as for your long term well being. So that's an important aspect of life. Like it could just, I mean, for example, something that people can relate to. I- Your day itself starts off on a wrong note when your digestion is off, and it just sets off the wrong tone for the morning. It just impacts your mood right off. So I think a lot of short-term practices done over a long-term time period would really help for a good gut health.
No, that sounds good, but how does gut health show up in daily life beyond digestive issues? Like, does poor gut health affect your skin, mood swings? Does it cause fatigue? Like, what? How does it show up in day to day life?
That's an amazing question. So, see, gut health doesn't exactly mean like abdominal pain or digestive issues or bloating. If I have to divide it into categories, for one, it shows up in skin in the form of acne, eczema, and even flushing of skin. Okay, and moving on to like I spoke about weight fluctuations. Sometimes there is a stubborn weight gain, and it's almost always the cause could be idiopathic. That's when, on detailed analysis, you realize that the actual culprit is usually a messed up gut. And apart from that, in even in day-to-day life and in terms of long-term mental health impact I spoke about, it leads to a lot of brain fog, fatigue, mood swings, and then also anxiety for most part, because there is a deep gut brain connection. So yeah, it actually shows up in your day-to-day life. You're irritated and you have these mood swings, and sometimes you don't even know the reason why these things are happening to you. So yeah, it's such an it actually impacts and sets you off on the wrong note for your day. You're not at your full functioning capacity, if I have to say it in the day-to-day relatability way.
Really? So someone with poor gut health won't be able to perform and be at their full working capacity. They'll feel anxious, they'll feel tired.
Absolutely, there's a clear interlink between both.
Can we say that everything is connected to gut?
Oh,
Anxiety, depression, skin issues, all connects back
absolutely,
to your
in
gut.
many ways, in many ways.
What are some top everyday habits that people do without realizing that these habits are damaging their gut health?
For one, Ramsha, especially I see this in my Chicago practice as a consultant. In fast paced cities like Chicago, these have become norms. For one, consumption of ultra processed packaged foods, because they're accessible easily, and they're amazing. They're marketing geniuses, and agreed, some of these products might be healthier for you or better for you options, but I wouldn't say that they're exactly long-term sustainable options for your day-to-day food intake. For example, diet sodas, a big no-no. In fact, I was an amazing consumption of a particular diet soda that I don't want to name, but uh, I've completely weaned off of it because I knew that there were some underlying issues it's causing to me over the longer run. So that's for one. And some of your ultra processed multi-grain products, again, they might be better for you, but it's really important. It's all in the finer print. These are marketing geniuses with poor nutritive value, like something to really think about. And even certain types of flavored yogurts, while yogurt is an amazing probiotic, and I highly recommend to any of our watchers and viewers and listeners that some of these probiotic foods like homemade dahi, kimchi, fermented veggies, and sauteed spinach, these are must haves as a part of your day to day life. But I mean, some things which are so processed can mess up your gut over the longer run.
So important to avoid processed foods for the most
Yeah,
part.
ultra processed foods.
So if someone is experiencing a messed up gut, right? They have, but they're experiencing bloating, discomfort. What could be the first 3 steps you would recommend them to take?
Okay, so again, step one, please cut off all the processed packaging foods that are at your home. And step two, fiber focused and protein loaded over carb focused diet. So, by that, I mean fiber is to be considered your main part of your meal. Then comes your protein, and last comes your carbs. And then the third point being your meal timings. Please respect and value your meal timings. They can't be erratic. A one off day is okay. I mean, we all have certain busy days where we have to, find a wiggle room and maybe skip a meal or something like that. No constant grazing. These 3 steps are something that people can start off, and it's going to show up. I won't even say, it's going to take. I agree, patience is key to all these practices, but one thing is for sure, even if you've stuck to these things for straight away a period of 8 weeks, it's going to show up. Your face glows different, your body works different.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us in this generation are very quick to skip meals. We are constantly hustling, doing work, and in pursuit of that, we are ignoring our health, which is the most important, because if you are not physically and mentally well, then how will you focus? How will you stay consistent with your goals and efforts, right? So it's really important to invest in yourself first before investing time into anything else.
Absolutely.
You mentioned about a few foods that support gut healing, right? So, what are some of the underrated foods or nutrients that naturally support gut healing?
So, yes, another important thing that I would like to say is your gut healing starts in your kitchen before you even have to enter a pharmacy or you have to enter a doctor's office. So, look at your kitchen carefully. So, I'll tell you some of these important food products that people can incorporate in their day-to-day meals. So, some being probiotics and some being prebiotic foods. Um, One would be homemade yogurt, handi dahi. It's a common practice in many South Asian households, even. So that would be one. And your probiotic milk, kefir, being common and a really good uh, uh, product to incorporate in your meals. And then there is, again, like I previously mentioned, fermented vegetables. Kimchi is an amazing option. And also soaked chia seeds. Soaked chia seeds, you can just have it. And also for people who have a sweet tooth, you can make a bunch of amazing desserts with soaked chia seeds and just some fresh fruit. That's all you really need. So that these are some underrated foods. Most homes and kitchens have these. Your healing actually starts in your kitchen.
Wow,
Yeah.
I did not know that, and I will definitely explore those.
Yeah, I will actually share some of those soaked chia seed healthy recipes that I do it because I have a sweet tooth myself, and I like to end every meal of mine with a dessert. So I've replaced all those store bought desserts with some of these fresh fruit and soaked chia seed puddings, which can be made in like just a few minutes.
That sounds good. Do you think that gut health can be improved after years of bad eating habits and chronic stress? Like, can changing your lifestyle after 8, 10 years of eating all the wrong things and dealing with chronic stress, can that process be reversed?
So, short answer, yes, definitely, but it'll involve a lot of again, personalization and tailored plans, a lot of patience, and most importantly, consistency. So I've seen people who have done years of crash diets, fad diets, have had antibiotic abuses, but I've coached them over a period of, I mean, for some it took really long as 6 to 8 months to even wean off of that and come to at least a stable phase. But yes, it's definitely doable with a very strict plan to follow. Again, cut out your processed foods. That's always one thing I would like to say. And extreme focus on your fibers and protein focused meals are important. And all three meals should be something of amazing nutritive value to your body. So I mean, you have to honor your body, watch everything you're putting into it.
Interesting. So, what would that look like? What would that process look like if you were to describe it in detail?
Yes. So what you typically do is you obviously will, along with all these diet plans, need a few supplements because they've gone through, again, like we spoke about, years of crash diet. So there's going to be hormonal imbalances. Those have to be analyzed in detail. Sleep disturbances. So sleep medicine in itself is so evolved. So first thing is going to look like doing a lot of detailed analysis and diagnostic tests of what exactly is wrong. That is the only place where we can start off saying, okay, these are the things that we can address, even in terms of foods or supplements. And another important thing I would like to touch upon here is vitamin C, your omega 3s, and most importantly, fruits rich in uh, antioxidants and with low glycemic index. These have to be incorporated heavily. So there has to be a total like 180-degree revamp in terms of what they've been doing versus what we are creating for them.
Interesting. Well, that's very useful information. We previously spoke about the connection between gut and brain. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of talk that your gut is your second brain.
Mhm.
Can you explain how gut health affects your mental health, like anxiety, depression, or brain fog?
Yeah, there are a bunch of clinical studies done by prestigious institutes world over that clearly state an interlink between the gut brain connection in detail. So, your gut basically produces 90% of your serotonin. That's basically your happy hormone right there. So, you heal your messed up gut, you start to glow up overall. So there is clearly a direct correlation between the two. So I think having a healthy gut, watching out for your good bacteria, watching out for your consumption of your pro and prebiotic rich foods on a daily analysis. So yeah, these are important to establish that gut brain connection.
No, I was watching this video of a model who was actually sharing the importance of intermittent fasting and how that can be super beneficial. But I wanted to know from the health perspective, right? Uh, is intermittent fasting helpful or harmful for gut health, or does it vary from person to person?
Wonderful question, and I love how you asked that in detail, because it the first answer would be it depends, Ramsha. So while fasting for some part is definitely helpful to reduce your inflammation part, again I would say this is not a practice that's sustainable in long term. Okay, by that I mean, people could turn anorexic, malnutritious. Uh, they could turn into, they could, it opens a door to a spectrum of eating disorders, like, because you're almost starving your body for most of your day. How sustainable is it when you think of it in a macroscopic view? So having said that, for short term, yeah, it like say like a detox a regime or something, it is definitely fine to do it. But for people who are already experiencing hormonal imbalances, like even PCOS, or like even people who are iron deficient or anemic or bulimic, that is a very it's a red flag, I would like to say. So yeah, IF long term isn't exactly a sustainable practice.
But once in a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, but this social media pressure to
Mhm.
look a certain way,
Oh,
especially with women and teenagers, they struggle with body image, right? Because they want to mimic what they see on social media, um, how certain actors and models look.
yeah.
How can they build healthy relationship with the food that they're consuming without really getting overwhelmed by societal pressure?
So see, um, it is common practice to celebrate and look up to or worship certain beauty standards that have already been set. But I mean, I love how some women right now out there, even some amazing South Asian women out there, are recreating this whole narrative. First off, I would like to say that. Number two, it's important that too much influx of this knowledge is in no way helpful. And number three, it's important to have a healthy connection with food. So by that I mean to say, you know, food isn't a punishment. It's not nothing to be ashamed of, or it isn't something to put yourself into a guilt cycle, but that's where people need to develop a healthy boundary and relationship with both the influx of the social media standards that are being set versus their body goals and their overall mental and physical well-being. So it's important to just have a balance of everything.
I would love to move on to the nutrition and the recovery section that we have. For people that are recovering from surgery, for instance, what nutritional strategies can help speed up their recovery and reduce complications?
Sure. Again, in my practice and also with my own brand Nourish, that I see is that people are now very hyper aware that they need to give a lot of importance to post surgical nutritive care because it's extremely synergistic to their overall recovery. So again, very important topic to talk about. So number one being, you have to understand that sugar loaded diets during this phase is almost like throwing sand on your recovery. So that's one red flag to watch out for. Um, Besides that, again, you have to focus a lot on low carb options, easily digestibles, and again, we spoke about supplements earlier, right? Vitamin C and omega 3s work wonders. This is basically what I prescribe right now, is almost like your basic body repair kit during your post surgical nutritive rehabilitation phase. So these are some of the things that we typically do to make sure that in a few months, along with their actual procedure, they also recover in a way where they feel fully like themselves and active and, be able to perform at their best in whatever they're doing.
You mentioned that eating sugar, especially after post surgery, is like throwing sand on your recovery,
Yeah.
which I always remember, by the way. Is sugar directly responsible for causing diabetes?
So, short answer, I get asked this a lot, by the way, but short answer, no, Ramsha. Sugar does not directly cause diabetes, but sugar definitely is a significant risk factor because it obviously causes weight gain. It is unhealthy for you when it's taken in overconsumptive quantities. So it puts you at multifold risk for type 2 diabetes mellitus. So that is something, it acts as a risk factor. So it's actually not exactly that single cupcake or a piece of chocolate that you're eating. It's ultimately the sedentary lifestyle behind it, and also if that becomes a regular pattern or a norm or a part of your day to day meal patterns, that's when it becomes a problem. But the direct answer would be no, sugar does not directly cause diabetes, but it is overconsumption of it is not at all healthy. There are better alternatives right now.
But can diabetes be reversed through lifestyle and diet changes after a point of time when it has progressed?
I have actually coached a handful of clients where we've been able to, show significant progress, especially in patients who've been diagnosed to be pre-diabetic or prone risk patients, and also in some cases of type 2 diabetes. Yes, it is sometimes possible with over a period of time, of course, with very strict exercise plus diet, they both go hand in hand in these cases, and a lot of consistency. So both you can't lead a sedentary life along with, no matter how many medications there are out there to heal a bunch of these conditions. Having a sedentary lifestyle again is so detrimental, no matter how well you're eating.
No, I completely agree. I think the way you treat your body in your 20s and 30s is how it's going to react in your 40s and 50s. You're constantly abusing your body, and it's going to show up eventually.
Absolutely.
And, I would love to address the part of how South Asian women treat their bodies and their health. I see a lot of women from our generation. Well, our generation is getting better, but from the previous generation, uh, they constantly put other people's needs and wants over their own. They neglect their physical and mental health because they want to show up for their family member, husband, child, sibling, which is really detrimental, right? So, what are some of the pieces of advice that you would give to them, and also a lot of other folks who are neglecting their physical and mental and emotional?
Yeah, like you rightly pointed out, in fact, that practice is celebrated, putting others over yourself while taking care of everyone who's a part of your family is an amazing thing to do, and it's a gift that some women have, and sure, it needs to be celebrated, but not at the cost of your own health. And these practices often again lead to a lot of situations where, again, these cause long term hormonal issues. People often get diagnosed with hypertension, type 2 diabetes, because you're only doing things for everyone else but yourself. So I think it's time to pause, for one. Number two, again, loving your own family also means that loving yourself and taking care of yourself. Self care isn't selfish. Self care is not selfish. It is self preservation. It is not a rebellion. It's something to first pause and reset the narrative. And also, in these cases, the family members themselves need to be supportive that, a part of your day should always be just for your well-being, Ramsha. Like, even if it's a quick jog, could be a quick walk in your own neighborhood or your community. And again, like I said, a lot of healing starts from within your kitchen. So watch what you're eating. You could pick the right options from just your own reach. So these are first, again, they run so deep by now in certain households that it's really important. It's hard to reset that narrative, but pausing, understanding, and the people around them also being supportive of it is really important when women need to take care of themselves. So I think even that needs to be celebrated now, not just looking after everyone else but yourself.
No, I love that. And, I really enjoyed that conversation. I think you gave a lot of valuable information. Also, it's a pleasure to sit with you and learn so much about nutrition and gut health and all of these things. Thank you once again for joining.